Hello, my name is Brandon Clay, and I believe that Jesus Christ is God in the flesh, and he reveals to us the one true God is worshipped by Adam, Abraham, Jacob, Isaac, and the rest of the Old and New Testament saints. But I did not always believe that. I came to a personal faith in my teenage years, and I recount about three themes that characterize my walk and my life as a Christian, those of law, grace, and discipleship. The first theme is one of law. I was raised in a Christian home, born in 1975 to two Christian parents, though they went to different churches at the time. My father was a devout Roman Catholic. My mother was a church-going Southern Baptist, and for the most part, we were raised in the SBC, the Southern Baptist Church in Texas. We went to Second Baptist Church in Houston, a couple of other churches as well, and went to VBS, Sunday school, and all of that. But as I mentioned, my father was not attending regularly until about the age of 7 or 8 when he converted to the Baptist faith. This was a big deal at the time because my grandmother, his mom, was a devout Catholic, raised her children all in Catholicism. There's 9 brothers and sisters, and all of them, to a person at the time, remained in the church. So him breaking away from the Roman Catholic Church was kind of a big deal. But I think ultimately it was a good thing for me and for my family because there was a unification of faith there, with my mom and my dad both going to the same church. Shortly after that, when I was about 9, something about eternal punishment struck me as quite uncomfortable. So around that time, my mom was telling me that I had told her I don't want to go to hell. So I figured I might as well go down to the front and do the things that the kids are supposed to do these days and get saved and say a prayer and all of that. And so that's what I did. I went down front, said a sinner's prayer with the pastor, and got baptized, got my Bible that my grandfather gave me, and it was it was an experience. But I don't think that I was saved. I think that the law, as I mentioned, was working on my heart to show me that I was not doing what is right by God, and the eternal punishment piece was weighing. It would weigh on anybody really that was thinking about it. Not something that I wanted to endure. Even afterwards, when there was no peace in my heart. I remember saying multiple sinner's prayers, one in front of the television with Billy Graham on, with my mom, my grandmother, and as I was saying it, I'm sure she was in the back thanking the Lord or whatever. She was there. I said multiple sinner's prayers because there was no peace. There was no peace because I don't believe I was right with the Lord at the time. God was still distant. My mother told me once when I was young, if God wanted to, he could kill you. And I believe that, and I still do. God, to me, was a God of law. Now, there are some that would want to discount that aspect of God's character, the God being one of law and having requirements for people. Maybe something to ignore, to minimize, or even to reject, but I don't think that's the proper way to understand law when it comes to God. Galatians 3:24 says, "So then the law was our guardian until Christ came, in order that we might be justified by faith." The King James Version says the law was a schoolmaster to bring us to Christ. And so I view the law as being a very helpful thing in my life personally, and really for the life of anybody who becomes a genuine follower of Christ. The law taught me what God required, and that was a good thing. The second theme in my Christian life is one of grace. God was very kind to me as a young rebel. We moved to Austin, Texas when I was 10, and I got involved with friends at school. I was in public school, and was interested in the things that they were interested. I was doing the things that they did. I did go to church, but that was only because I had to. There's no interest in the things of God. Sometimes I would pray or talk to God, but I think almost anybody does that. And it just wasn't it wasn't a reality as much as what a Christian's reality would be. I had about as much spiritual interest as the rest of my friends, which was virtually none. But God was still graciously drawing me to himself. In the summer of 1992, I attended a Baptist encampment, and at that camp, I felt a very strong move of the Lord upon my heart, and I did what is called surrendered my life to the ministry. And in that act, I think that was a surrender of my will, my rebel will to what God, I think, wanted for me to do, at least at that time. And I can look back at that time to see, yeah, there was something that changed definitely in my heart. Before, there was just no spiritual interest, or very little, and it was infrequent. But after that, it was fairly consistent on a regular basis. In the next couple of years, I'd read through the entire Bible, which was something I'd never done. I had no interest in doing it before, but for some reason, I had an interest in doing it, and so I read through the Bible. I had no interest in talking to friends about Christ, but then afterwards, I did start talking to friends about Jesus. I mean, there was just a change. I was much more involved in church afterwards than before. I think that Jesus became my Lord after that experience, and I believe that's when I became a Christian. The God of grace had pulled me from a hell-bound trajectory to a heaven-bound path, and for that I am very, very grateful. The third theme in my life as a Christian was one of discipleship, or how God disciplined me to be more useful to his service. God was cleaning me up from my previous behaviors that I had developed as an unbeliever, and that was a good thing. At the time I was fairly undisciplined. My devotion to Christ was there, but I was engaged in deliberate sinful activities both before and after my conversion to Christ. I needed discipleship. I needed accountability, and the Lord graciously provided that for me. When I was in school, in college, I was attending University of Texas A&M University, and in College Station, and I connected with some brothers that were involved in Christian discipleship. Just kind of that was something they were doing on the side. It was not part of a church, but some guys that got together. It was there that I found joy in walking with the Lord in holiness. And I could just remember some of those times after getting out of the meetings with these brothers where it was real basic. It was like prayer, accountability, and talking about Christian things. I mean, it's nothing fancy. It was just that sort of thing. But walking away from those times with just a light heart and a light spirit about me, I felt like I was floating on a cloud or something after that. And it was not something that I was really used to. But that's what those brothers brought into my life. One in particular is actually still a pastor in that same area in College Station. His name's Darren Ely. So shout out to him if he's watching this. And really appreciate Darren and the rest of the brothers that gave me a solid discipleship foundation in my life when I really needed it. It was also at the same time that I joined the Texas Army National Guard. So going through regular Army training with the infantry was also super helpful in putting some discipline in my life when I needed it. I am married to my beautiful wife, Scarlett, and we have 4 precious children. We did have a child in 2010. His name was Knox Haddon, and that was the same year that I started seminary. Actually, I'm a graduate of Southern Baptist Theological Seminary in Louisville, Kentucky. But that year I started seminary was the year that he was born, and 9 months into his life, we got the diagnosis that he was had something called Cockayne syndrome. Cockayne syndrome is a very rare genetic condition that affects 1 in 500,000 kids. It's deadly. It does kill the child eventually. But we didn't know how old he would be at the time. He ended up passing away in 2014, so at the age of 3.5. That was a very trying, stressful time. It was one of discipleship, going back to that same theme with the Lord using Knox to discipline our family. Knox Haddon was actually named after two preachers, John Knox from Scotland and Charles Haddon Spurgeon from England. And he, just to bless his memory, we thought he would be a preacher. And we thought, well, we're going to name him after two preachers, Knox and Haddon. And he did preach, but in a different sort of way. He preached discipleship into our family and the challenge that we had with him, and really the experience that was in caring for him. And then afterwards, it caused my wife and I both to press into the Lord more ultimately. And so I, in relating to her and to the rest of my family, and then she in relating to the Lord. She's actually a twice graduate of seminary now, and pursuing her PhD in Christian apologetics, which would have been unheard of before the experience. But the Lord really used Knox to draw us closer to himself. I have revisited these themes of law, grace, and discipleship throughout my Christian life. To this day, I'm thankful for God's law to point me to his purposes and what he wants, how he wants me to live, for his grace to pick me up when I fail and point me in a better way, and discipleship to make me more useful to his purposes. I'm 47 now, and I would love to continue to serve the Lord in my local church and my family and my job, whatever it might be. And my ultimate goal in life is for the Lord to say to me, "Well done, good and faithful servant." And by God's grace, I will hear that. God bless you.